So here we are live in the gym in Sunland Park, New Mexico. We're back with the 343 commitment and still counting, 110 floors. This time it is for firefighter Michael Edward Roberts from Tower Ladder 35, housed with Engine 40 in Manhattan, the Cavemen. This climb is dedicated to his father, retired fire captain Thomas Roberts, to his mother Paulette, sister Lisa, and his brother Kenneth. Taking him up symbolically to the 110th floor with honor and respect given for the sacrifice made on 9/11/2001. This climb has a personal story to it with me now. Even though I don't and never had a chance to meet our brother, I actually carried him up 72 flights of stairs on March 13th, 2016, in New York City, World Trade Center 4, the New York City firefighter stair climb. On the previous day, went to the Cavemen, Tower Ladder 35, and Engine 40, and paid my respects to our brother and those that were lost from the house. So this 110 floors is given in honor and respect for our brother. And right now, this is his 343 commitment and still counting climb. Even though I took him up in 2016 at World Trade Center 4 as part of the New York City firefighter stair climb, this is his turn again. For our brother, who was known as the psychologist of Tower Ladder 35, Engine 40. Prior to joining the FDNY in 1998, our brother had gotten a degree in psychology from, I believe it was SUNY. This climb is given with honor and respect. Our brother's second climb with me for Michael Edward Roberts, Tower Ladder 35. So in reading his research prior to his climb, his father said he just needed to figure out if he was going to grow up or join the fire department. And in 1998, our brother, at 31 years old, on the time of 9/11, was a few years younger then, joined the FDNY. It said that his initial house on probation was Tower Ladder 35. Then he went to Engine 224 in Brooklyn. After that, he went to Engine 43. I believe it was either Harlem or Bronx. And then he went back to Tower Ladder 35 there in Manhattan. So this is his 110 floors, taking him all the way to the top, symbolically going to the top of the tower, where Tower Ladder 35 was advised to have been working in the South Tower. The second tower to be hit, but it was the first tower to collapse. So this climb is dedicated to his father, retired fire captain Tom Roberts, his mother Paulette, sister Lisa, and his brother Kenneth. Right now, he's going vertical towards that 110th floor, taking him all the way to the very top with honor and respect given for the sacrifice made so that others could live. As I said a little while ago, this is my second time with our brother. The first time was March 13th, 2016, heading up 72 floors, World Trade Center 4, New York City. As part of the New York City's firefighter stair climb. I can't tell you what it was to get into World Trade Center 4 with firefighters from all over the world and all over the U.S. giving honor and respect to our brothers, the 343, and still counting. We climbed 72 floors, carrying each one of them with us all the way to the top. This was a big catalyst to me climbing across the U.S. This climb that I did for our brother right now that I'm taking up again, Michael Edward Roberts, from going there now with honor and respect. So I'll be right back. So we're at floor 31 of this 110th floor climb for our brother Michael Edward Roberts, firefighter with tower ladder 35. So back at it. Got to finish to the 110th floor. This climb will be complete for our brother Michael Edward Roberts, 31 years of age on 9/11. For his father, retired Fire Captain Tom Roberts, his mother Paulette, and sister Lisa, and brother Kenneth. I, during the research, found out his brother and he were both on the way to Manhattan together. Michael with tower ladder 35 when he went to work, and his brother Kenneth actually worked at World Trade Center 7 from what I was reading. Once everything happened, his brother received a phone call from Michael, but because of everything that went on, he didn't actually get it until later on in the afternoon. And he had mentioned that everybody else was headed out. The only people that were headed in was the FDNY, PD, and EMS. Right now, this is his climb, taking your son and brother and our brother to the very top, symbolically to the 110th floor, carrying him up with honor and respect given for the sacrifices made so that others could live. Coming to you live from Southern Park, New Mexico, in the gym. The second climb of this tour is for our brother, firefighter Michael Edward Roberts, tower ladder 35. I've had the honor of climbing in New York City with the New York City firefighter stair climb up to the New York City Memorial Stair climb. 2 times in World Trade 4 and 2 times in World Trade 3. And the first climb I ever did in World Trade Center 4, March 13th of 2016, was for our brother, Michael Edward Roberts, Tower Ladder 35. Manhattan's Cavemen, housed there with Engine 40. On March 12th, I made an honor visit to the Cavemen. That day I actually purchased a t-shirt from the Cavemen, and I had a Velcro tab with 35 on it. And on my helmet, I had goggles right here, and that tab was right there when I was going up World Trade Center 4. With honor and respect, the Cavemen was carried 72 floors. Prior to this, memorial 110 floors, with honor and respect given for the sacrifices that were made on and after 9/11/2001. 19 years, we have not forgotten. We have not just thought of our brothers as a name on a plaque, a picture on a wall. Their stories live on. As I said before, this climb is very significant because outside of climbing Freedom Tower for the Tunnel to Towers first ever tower climb there, this was my first climb in New York City, starting the several-year legacy of this journey to tell their stories. I wasn't wanting to just let their stories fade. This is why the 343 commitment, and still counting, exists. To keep our brothers' memories alive and their stories to be told. Our brother actually, as I said before, prior to joining the FDNY in 1998, as a probationary member of Tower Ladder 35, went to school and got a degree in psychology, during which his time at Tower Ladder 35 with Engine 40, the Cavemen out of Manhattan, he actually was called a psychologist because he would listen to guys and be there to talk. It also said that he played tournament darts, and he played, I believe it was the FDNY softball, and I hope I get it right, I believe it was basketball teams. Again, everything I'm telling you is by memory. After doing about an hour's research, I make the climb, and I tell it all. This climb is dedicated to our brother, firefighter Michael Edward Roberts, Tower Ladder 35. Taking him up. So, as I said before, in 1998, he had about 3 years on the job. And prior to 9/11, he had gone back to Tower Ladder 35. It said that he had a smile that everybody loved. His father, retired Captain Thomas Roberts, was on the job before him. And I hope I get this right, but I believe our brother's badge, Michael Edward Roberts, was 13392. And it said that His father took the badge home and placed it on the mantle. I promise you, he will never, ever, ever be forgotten. This is my second climb for Michael Everett Roberts, Tower Ladder 35. Second time, but this time it's 110 floors. Previously, in New York City, at the New York Firefighter Stair Climb, we climbed 72 floors, the World Trade Center 4. For our brother, who I carry his memorial tag to any of the climbs that I go on. Every brother that I've carried on any of the 9/11 climbs across the U.S., I carry them, each and every one of them, with me as a constant reminder of the sacrifices and the lives that were saved. We cannot forget who our brothers were, who their families were left behind, dedicated to his father, retired Captain Thomas Roberts, his mother Paulette, his sister Lisa, and his brother, who actually worked in World Trade Center 7, was there on 9/11 and got out with everyone not knowing that he received a call from his brother Michael until later in the afternoon, where Michael was calling to see if he was okay, according to what I read. Taking him up with honor and ultimate respect given for the sacrifices made both on and after 9/11. Those in the rescue effort, followed by the Ansel County in the recovery effort. Our brothers and sisters who worked the pile at ground zero for days, weeks, and months until the recovery effort was declared complete. For our brother, never forgotten, always remembered. We made a promise, America, to never forget. And truly, I believe a bunch of people are, but it's us who keep their names alive. Those who climb in 9/11 climbs across the U.S., who run with their stories and their names, taking them up to the very top with honor and respect. For our brother's roughly 3-year career, it said that he was out in Tower Ladder 35, the Cavemen, in Manhattan. Then he went into 224 in Brooklyn, and I believe it was into 43 in Harlem, and back to Tower Ladder 35, which he responded on 9/11. Tower Ladder 35 was seen working in the South Tower on 9/11. So this is their climb, finishing their footsteps, taking them all the way to the top. Dedicated to the FDNY, they're the Cavemen. Engine 40, Tower Ladder 35, there in Manhattan. The house of Ray Pfeiffer with the Ansel County. God willing, I'll take him up when it comes to his time to go vertical again. Taking him up one single step to the next floor, all the way to reach the 110th floor. We're going vertical. Live in the gym, Sunland Park, New Mexico. You're watching the 343 Commitment and still counting. 110 floor memorial climb, part 2, because I had to take a phone call I couldn't let go of. And so now this is the second attempt from floor 30 to the 110. But part 2 of this 110 floor climb for our brother firefighter Michael Edward Roberts, who on 9/11 was 31 years old. The psychologist was his nickname at Tower Ladder 35 because he actually had gotten a degree in psychology prior to getting on with the FDNY. His father, retired Captain Thomas Roberts, had mentioned that he wasn't sure whether he was going to grow up or become a firefighter. And in 1998, he followed his dad's footsteps and became a probationary firefighter with Tower Ladder 35 with the FDNY. Our brother played tournament darts, and he played FDNY sports, softball, and I think it was basketball, if I can remember correctly. Taking him up, almost to the very top. Last part of that second to last vertical. Again, this climb, with all the rest, is very significant. Specifically, the fact that I carried our brother 72 floors, March 13th, 2016, New York City, World Trade Center 4, as part of the New York City Firefighter Stair Climb, taking him up to finish his now 110 floor journey. Coming up on the last rest now for that last vertical, to that last portion to get me to the 101st. Carrying his footsteps on that south tower to the very top of the tower. We'll never forget. We'll always remember. This is why we climb. To carry their stories and their legacies and tell their stories so they will never be forgotten. Again, this is why we climb. For the families, the FDNY, and our country to know we're keeping our promise. Taking him up with honor and respect for his 3 years of service. Last unit assigned on 9/11 back to Tower Ladder 35. He was on Tower Ladder 35, into 224, into 43, back to Tower Ladder 35 during his career. I believe if I got it correct, his badge was 13,392. So right now, we are now at the last vertical of the 7. Going up to reach the 101st floor after this vertical. For our brother, firefighter Michael Edward Roberts. And you may be saying, yesterday I also climbed for Mike Edward Roberts, but this brother was on engine 214. The families were different families. Mike Roberts from engine 214 and Mike Roberts from Tower Ladder 35. All right, gotta go again. 96th floor. Back again on this third attempt now for the 343 Cavemen and still counting 110th floor memorial climb for our brother, firefighter Michael Edward Roberts, tower ladder 35, Salisbury, Manhattan, with engine 40. As I mentioned before in the previous climb, and the climb before that, since it's now the third time I've attempted to take him all the way to the top, that I actually climbed for our brother March 13th of 2016 in New York City at World Trade Center 4 on the New York City Firefighter Start Climb. Right now I'm taking him up a second time, dedicating to his father, retired FDNY Captain Thomas Roberts, his mother Paulette, his sister Lisa, and his brother Ken. Ken was actually working on 9/11 in World Trade Center 7. At the same time, his brother was going in to tote his tour on Tower Ladder 35 with the Cavemen. It was said that Tower Ladder 35 was working in the South Tower on 9/11, the worst terrorist attack on U.S. soil, backed by the greatest rescue effort in U.S. history, where upwards of 25,000 were saved because of the bravery, valor, and heroism that was shown. So this is his climb. To finish his footsteps, our brother was known as the psychologist on Tower Ladder 35. Prior to joining the FDNY in 1998, he had gone, I believe it was SUNY, and gotten his degree in psychology. So this last 14 floors is to carry our brother to finish his footsteps on this 285th climb with 58 brothers left to carry to this 110th floor. This climb is dedicated to the FDNY, off and on the line, to the Cavemen, Tower Ladder 35, with engine 40 in Manhattan, the House of Ray Piper, who hopefully, God willing, I'll carry again, taking him up. Our brother was 31 years old on 9/11. In his free time, he enjoyed playing darts, and he was also on the FDNY softball and I believe it was basketball team. This is now the last 14 floors, third attempt to take him to the 110th floor. And we are now just about there. Made it to the 96 before we got that call. And we made it. 14 more floors, the 110. For our brother, Tower Ladder 35, Michael Edward Roberts. Rest easy, brother. We got it from here.